Neil, I mean, you're talking there about breaks in the summer and stuff like that. What about yourself? Because, when do you kind of say, I'm going to be here next season? I mean, I'm in here. I'm planning for the future. I'm planning for that.
Well, it's difficult in my case, Scott, because it's not so much down to me. I'm afraid I'm under the thumb. So it's whether she relinquishes, and I know she's desperate for us to go to Italy for a few months.
Neil, should be desperate for you to be out of the house.
Well, you'll have to go and tell her that, Scott. You'll have to get a bloody thing round to the house. I am enjoying it. She knows that, but at the same time, she does say, don't forget how old you are. How long have we got left? And when you've been through what Sharon's been through, you have to sort of listen a little bit as well. Are you with me?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it'll all sort itself out. But at the moment, I'm not. I know that Steve keeps asking me and all that lot, but all I want to do is the best at the minute, at this moment in time, and we'll worry about that at a later date.
Yeah. I mean, you obviously feel that you're building something, though. It's not a case of whatever happens this season is the be all and end all, because you are putting plans in place for the future of this football club, aren't you?
Yeah, Scotty, the answer is yes. It's just that when you're not 72, and none of you lot are 72, it is slightly different. 72. Every time you look at the news, somebody that you know has died. Younger people than you's died. Sharon's been through hell with what she's been through, and you do have to get things in perspective at times. So it's one of those things that I think when you're 72, I think I said it when I first started, you want to get success yesterday. That's why this is a big 22 games for me, because I don't want to think, we're not doing bad, we'll bill for next year. Are you with me? I want success now, mate. So it's going to be difficult, probably the hardest job I've ever had to do that. But, I want my lads to be up for the challenge, mate.
And just one last one from me, and then you talked about Johnny there, and how much he's impressed you. Maybe he's changed, your mind on his side. I mean, do you think players like Johnny sometimes get pigeonholed a bit? And he's never really had a chance at the Premier League. In quotes, bigger clubs have never really looked at him. Do you think that's because he plays a certain way, he does a job that's not always the sexiest, if you like? Do you think that sometimes counts against people like that?
Well, I don't think he's probably not the fashionable. That's what you're saying. He's not the fashionable type. I mean, when he was at Norwich, I thought he was a good player there at Norwich, and I forget where we were. I don't know whether it was Sheffield or something like that. But we tried to sign him on a couple of occasions, and then you don't worry about other teams' players. Then you get on with your own, so it passes you by. It's only when you have somebody like Johnny in your camp that you realise what he gives to the club and what he does. Because he doesn't talk a lot. He's not a big talker. You can't say he's using his experience or what have you. What he does it by deed. He does it, He shows people what to do. He shows people what it means to somebody, what you've got to do to go that other little bit more to become a winner. And I think, if anything, if you ask Johnny, I think he's surprised. I think he's gone up a notch in his own play. And I think, I'd like to think that that's down to me giving him that bit more responsibility and that desire. And I think he's enjoyed that.
Good luck Sunday.
Thanks, Scott. Don. Come on, Neil.
Don. You're right. Just on House, and just quickly, should he have played more Premier League football then? Do you think he should have spent most of his career in the Premier League rather than the Championship?
No, I think he should have been at Sheffield United when I were there, at Cardiff when I were there, QPR when I were there. I think he's wasted a career without being with me. So I couldn't even tell you where he's been, if I'm honest, Dom.
Last year you talked about how much you love consistency, players who are consistent, sides who are consistent. On Wednesday night after the game, you said Assombalonga Brit, you wish you had that from him every week. It must be so frustrating for you when you know someone is capable of something, but you just see it every 2 or 3 weeks rather than every game.
Yeah, but you've got to also put things in perspective. I was a winger. You always got pigeonholed as a winger that you didn't tackle, you don't head a ball, and so it's always your fault. And strikers have got to create things all the time they've got to make runs, they've got to do this. When you're a defender, you can be a big plank, should I say, and you can just mark a man and do this and that and the other and get away with it. You haven't got to create. You can earn a career out of being negative as a defender, but attackers, they've got to be positive. They've got to do things all the time. So, it's far more difficult to be consistent as a forward than it is as a defender, etc., or a midfield player. So I've got a lot of time for them in that, and a lot depends as well. We play one up front a lot of the time, so it's even more difficult, So it's not all down to that. It's down to the environment and things like that. But when we've played well, then you find that Brits played well. Birmingham away, when we got on top, he was superb, and we give him more of the balls in the areas that he's good at. It's no good putting a ball up there all the time against Harley Dean and say, "Go on, Brit, go and head that." You've got to work to their strengths as well.
Can his contract uncertainty, the fact Fletcher's coming back, the fact that there is still a chance of another striker coming in, that can only help to get the best out of Brit in the next few months, can't it?
Well, I would think so. I mean, if once the deadline goes, he's playing to show people what he can do, isn't he? So hopefully they'll get 10 each, them two, and then they can go and I can sign somebody better.
And just finally, you talked about the winger, the deal. Well, I'll say a winger. The deal that looks like being done, providing nothing changes before the end of the month. Is that still the case? Nothing's changed in the last few days since we last spoke.
We're a little bit more optimistic. We've got three irons in the fire, might even be 4 irons in the fire, and we want to get 2 of them if we can. So I'm still optimistic, that we can get 1 and maybe 2, and I'll be happy if we do that.
Thanks, Neil. Good luck Sunday.
Joe, come on, last but not least.
Hey, Neil, you okay?
Oh, Damien up there as well.
Damien will be fine.
Sorry, go on, Joe.
Just on this winger, Neil, when do you think a decision will be made on that? Is that going to be literally the last few days of January?
I would expect so, yeah. I mean, we're all hoping before then, because we'd like to have him involved against Rotherham. Are you with me?
Right, okay.
But, you saw the other night on the bench, there wasn't a lot on the bench. We could have done with another couple of more attacking options. So I would like to, if we could get something done before Wednesday, if I'm honest. But you just don't know, do you?
So are you still in contact then with the manager that's going to prepare to let him go?
Absolutely, yeah. And the striker with it. There's one, like I said, one striker will be the last minute. And then it's down to the player whether he chooses us, or I think there'll be 3 or 4 clubs in for him.
Yeah. Is it just a winger and a striker then? Nothing on defenders with Granite?
It depends what happens, Joe. I don't think defenders, no, but it depends if anybody leaves the club, whether I bring somebody in a different position. You'll have to I'll just throw that in so you can speculate, Joe.
Yeah. Obviously, you've spoken about Ashley Fletcher coming back, and him and Britt looked like they were forming a decent partnership at the end of last season. Do you see a scenario where they could play together again? Because obviously you only played one up front on Wednesday.
I think there's certain games you can, certain games. But I think Duncan can do that role as well. I've been pleased with Duncan as well. So they just give you more option, doesn't it, to change different style of player against a different opponent, especially a substitution. I think, they give us a lot more options.
So just finally for me then, Stephen Walker, he's gone back to Crewe. You obviously felt that was the right move for him to get some more games.
I think he's just got to play a game, Stephen. He wasn't going to get involved in our first team, so it's better for him, I think, to get some games.
T-side!
Be bold. Be immersed. Be transformed. Be T-side.
Yes, Britain's on the long because he gave us, he scored a good goal. Yeah, Johnny Hamilton. Goalie, goal. Come on now, son.
Blackburn boss Tony Mowbray returns to Middlesbrough, a club he played nearly 350 games for and managed for 3 years. 5 in the wall for Blackburn, and a Middlesbrough wall just in front of it as well. That has to be at least a yard away from the defensive wall now. Here comes Wing, he's gone low, and he's gone just wide. Well, clearly something Borough have worked on the training ground. Didn't come off for them on that occasion, but wasn't a bad effort. Fooled everybody. Just watch the movement of those 4 players in front of the defensive wall. Borough 15 points worse off than they were at the same stage last season, down in 17th place coming into this week. There's a block by Sam Gallagher back on defensive duty. Johnson might get a second chance. And that's a good tip over by Christian Walton. Good persistence by Johnson, got away from Gallagher, who got the initial challenge in. Walton tips over for the corner, the man on loan from Brighton. Blackburn just inside the top half of the table. Corner taken short this time, it's come back to Paddy McNair. Off the top of the crossbar. And Walton just asking questions of his defenders. Curled in by McNair, but the top of the bar saved Rovers. Just a single goal was enough to see Blackburn through to victory when the sides met at Ewood Park earlier in the season. A Danny Graham penalty. Rovers have lost just 1 of their last 9 against Borough, but it's the home side that are pressing forward here. That's a great effort. Just flashes wide from Johnny Howson. Found a little bit of space. Jonathan Woodgate's side close to taking the lead. It was a really good effort from Howson. Inches away from the opening goal of the game. Victory for Borough could take them above Queen's Park Rangers on goal difference. Congested, that central section of the Championship at the moment. Here come Rovers though, striding forward with a little bit of purpose. Is a nice interchange of passes and a chance, and Lewis Travis puts Rovers in front. It's a brilliantly worked goal. Adam Armstrong was involved in the build-up. He scored that stunning goal against Queen's Park Rangers in the week. This time he turns provider. Great little 1-2. And Lewis Travis gets his first goal since the end of September. And how important could that be for Tony Mowbray's side? Great interchange of passes. Travis continued his run. And Blackburn Rovers lead in the second half. A rare goal from Lewis Travis, but a vitally important one. Armstrong had the presence of mind just to play it back into his path. It was a lovely first touch as well. Response from Borough. Rovers could go 7th with a win, depending on other results, of course. They lead here. Was good play. Driven in, good save by the goalkeeper, and turned in from close range. Hayden Coulson on the mark. Well, it's a first goal in English football for Hayden Coulson. His only other goal came for St Mirren in the Scottish Cup. And he's got a goal for his team here. He's only been on the field a matter of 4 minutes or so, Hayden Coulson. It was pushed away by Christian Walton, and the substitute on the spot. And it's an equaliser for Middlesbrough. Great play. Both goals from both sides really well worked. It's unfortunate for the goalkeeper, who made a good save. There was appeal for handball. Are we to get a winner, I wonder? McNair, great ball in. And it goes wide though. Britas and Belonga. There's a substitute. cross. That's a Bolonga just off target with the free kick. That's a good header, brilliant save. Rudy Gestede getting up highest, and Christian Walter makes a stunning stop. Somehow managed to claw that one away. Gestede headed it down, and Walton has flicked it over the bar. Great reactions. Still the pressure not over yet. Whipped in towards the goalkeeper once again. Gallagher got a touch on it. Rovers might be able to get this one away, but it's coming back at them. The red shirts are staying forward, looking for the winner. Great balling once again, and the header wide this time. Frustrating for Jonathan Woodgate. It's Gestede once again. It's been a good battle between these two teams. And Tony Mowbray will have to settle for a point as the full-time whistle goes. Lewis Travis with a fine goal put Blackburn Rovers in front. It was cancelled out by Hayden Coulson's equaliser. And for the fourth successive season, the game here ends 1-1. It's finished Middlesbrough 1, Blackburn Rovers 1.